Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about a CFPB finalizing rule that will remove medical bills from your credit report. And the CFPB said that it's going to save an estimated $49 billion in medical bills from your credit report. And that's going to be for about 15 million Americans. I mean, we're going to get this debt completely wiped out. Now, the CFPB's action will ban the inclusion of medical bills on a credit report used by lenders and prohibit lenders from using medical information in their lending decisions. That doesn't necessarily mean that because it's not on the report that they couldn't take legal action against you if they wanted to garnish wages, anything like that. So we don't want to get that misunderstood, but it does really help those little things where maybe you went into the emergency room for a procedure and maybe you didn't have the coverage that was required for whatever procedure that you were getting. That shouldn't be something that prevents you from getting housing, from getting employment, from being able to get money for whatever it is that you might need a loan for at a crazy rate or denied completely simply because of getting medical attention. That is ridiculous. So the CFPB has found that the medical debt provides little predictive value to lenders about borrowers' ability to repay other debts, and consumers frequently report receiving inaccurate bills or being asked to pay bills that should have been covered by insurance or financial assistance programs, which happens a lot. I mean, that happened to me when I first turned 18 with insurance, just going to get a routine checkup and then being charged, thousands of dollars for something super simple. And it was a doctor who took advantage of me being young and naive and knew what he was doing, just trying to make sure that he can get some extra money and in turn ruin my credit for absolutely no reason. That was not a reflection on my ability to, borrow or repay debt whatsoever. It was just you preying on someone who was ignorant of what you were doing. And there's a quote here: people who get sick shouldn't have to have their financial futures upended. And that was the CFPB director. The CFPB's final rule will close a special carve-out that has allowed debt collectors to abuse the credit reporting system. It was just downright predatory, you putting these medical bills on people's credit reports, especially when some of it's not even accurate. Some of it is an overcharge, even if there was supposed to be a charge. The CFPB expects the rule will lead to the approval of approximately 22,000 additional affordable mortgages every year, and that Americans with medical debt on their credit report could see their credit scores rise on average 20 points. As the new administration comes in, we want to pay close attention to what happens, and we want to follow up on this, just to make sure that everything is copacetic, because the thing about this is, if this is going to get a lot of other people eligible to get mortgage loans, the banks will not be able to charge as much for interest rate, which then can affect their bottom line. And if it does, we could see some pushback on this. Again, like I've mentioned before, subprime lending is a business. It is way more profitable to have people with things like this on their report and then to loan them money. Because one thing in getting a mortgage, you can have a collection, but it has to be paid. So this was something where it kind of helped both ways. We can raise your interest rate because you have this. We have to get paid in order for this person to be able to even get a home. So, it's a lot of things at play that you want to pay attention to, but this will affect a lot of different parts of business when it comes to mortgage lending, when it comes to debt collection. And again, all these places, they are coordinating these efforts in order to make it very hard for you to actually borrow money. The CFPB's action follows changes made by the three nationwide credit reporting agencies. That's going to be Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, who announced that they would take certain types of medical debt off of credit reports, including collections under 500. Additionally, FICO and Vantage scores, the two major credit scoring models that companies use, announced that they have decreased the degree which medical bills impact a consumer's score. It's actually better just to get it completely removed. Again, a lot of these things were very predatory in nature. That's how they were even on the report to begin with. And it doesn't make sense to put that on someone's report because that has nothing to do with their ability to pay. That is totally a completely separate thing. The CFPB's final rule brings regulation in line with Congress's decision to safeguard consumers' privacy by restricting lenders from obtaining or using medical information, including information about medical debts. So again, this prohibits lenders from considering medical information. That's one thing that you want to keep in mind. It also bans medical bills on the credit report. And today's rule advances the CFPB work to protect your consumer rights from medical debt and from forcing you to pay debt that you don't even agree with or that is just flat out inaccurate and wrong. Now, in October, the CFPB issued guidance clarifying that debt collectors violating federal law when they collect on inaccurate or legally invalid medical debts. And previously, the CFPB published a 2022 report describing the effects of medical debt along with a bulletin on the No Surprises Act to remind credit reporting companies and debt collectors of their legal responsibilities under that legislation. And the rule will be in effect 60 days after publication of the Federal Register. Now, if you do want to read any of this, I'm going to put the link in the description. This is information that you guys will definitely want to be privy to and pay attention to. And again, I'm going to see what happens with this because this will affect a lot of other aspects of the finance industry. And we're going to see exactly what they do because they're losing leverage. They were already, the banks already lost the leverage of overdraft fees that they were charging, the ridiculous late fees that they had. They're losing, medical bills here for collections. Hopefully we start seeing other collections. What I would like to see is them reduce the amount of years that this should be on your report. I think that, open-ended debt should only be on there for maybe 4 years at best. 7 is too long. So we'll see how these things play out and how they will help everyone who's now trying to get homes. And that's going to be like a really big theme for this upcoming year because we really do need to see something happen with real estate. I mean, it's a industry that is just right now well overpriced with inflation, losing buying power in your dollar. It's making these homes go up so much that it's not even feasible for someone to even get a home. So we need to change that. We need some of these things to go down. We need to have inflation go down. We need to have more people purchasing homes. All of these things are going to have a major effect on the everyday person for the next 4 years. So let's just wait and see what's going to happen. But at least, small wins. We'll take that. Glad to hear it and glad to be reporting on something that's actually positive for once. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and you have a wonderful day.